myself of all the trash in my life. So I just pulled this gigantic pile or bag of trash that I've been hoarding, and I really even haven't put all my empties or trash away the way I should have, but I'll usually put one away and try to remember how many of that I've gone through. So yeah, I've gone through a lot of stuff. Let's just get into what I've used up in the last, I don't know, like a year. So I've gone through a ton of different face wipes. I know I tried one of these. This was like $4 or $5 for this. It's only 30 wipes. It wasn't really worth it. These are the cucumber wipes by Target that are like, yes to cucumber. Overrated, too expensive. Instead, I started using a crap ton of these baby wipes. You can get the sensitive wipes or the green tea and cucumber ones, so that's what I buy a lot, especially when I'm taking off and putting on a lot of makeup. So I've been using these a ton in the last year. They're only $2.40 at Walgreens, so save yourself some money and buy baby wipes, especially since there's 72 in each package. So I've saved a lot of money using those instead. And I've went through a butt ton of those. This actually comes in a kit, but this is the skincare line by Doterra I'm still using. But I go through the cleansers quicker than anything. I've gone through 2 or 3 of these, and this is just their HD Clear Foaming Cleanser. I'm still working on their lotions and maybe one of their spot treatments. I'm down to the bottom, but I've gone through almost 2 kits of the Doterra HD Clear for my skin. So it's a botanical skincare line. Definitely still using that, definitely still liking it, though I do alternate with other cleansers just because I go through this so quickly. I've also gone through about 2 of these Revlon Color Stay powders. This is like the pressed one and ivory or whatnot, and they just really break before I can use them up. So I've switched over to the NYX blotting powder. A couple concealers I've gone through. I still use the Age Rewind, but this one fell on the floor and touched a bunch of gross stuff, even though there's stuff left in it, so I'm throwing it away. But I go through a couple of these a year, and this is the Maybelline Age Rewind in Fair. I really like using it under my eyes. This concealer stick, like, I always carry one of these in my purse just in case I pick at my face, because I do that nervously. This is Neutral 123 in the L'Oreal face crayon. I've also gone through a couple of these NYX HD concealers because these are genuinely very pale, and this is in the shade Porcelain, but this one I got down to the very bottom to where it was like actually dried out, and I've carried those in my purse before too. It's not the best concealer in the world, but it's fair and it gets the job done, so I recommend it to those who might want something that kind of gets the job done. There's also this Maybelline Illegal Length Fiber Extension Mascara. I think I'm kind of over it because the mascara dries out too quickly. There's cat hair everywhere because I pulled this out of storage. I'm itchy. I've gone through a couple bottles of this Melaluca oil that's by Doterra. I use it on my acne. I like spot treat with it. I add it to other things. It's got medicinal purposes, stuff I'm going to talk about later in a video, but this is the best Melaluca or tea tree oil I've ever used, so I always order it in from Doterra, and this is like my 3rd bottle I've used here so far. I also finished off this Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and I do like this. I think it's just about, it's like on par with the Urban Decay one, though now I'm using the anti-aging Urban Decay one, so I gravitate towards that more. I also finished off this old bottle of Urban Decay De-Slick. I still use that a little bit, but now I've switched to the NYX matte spray for, affordability reasons. I've also gone through deodorant, but doesn't everybody? I've gone through a whole other container of the Ocean Salt Scrub. I use this about twice a week on my face, in the shower. I still love it. I wish I could afford to use it all over my body, but it's so expensive. I can't do that. I went through endless amounts of these Maybelline Classic Volume Express mascaras, and now they're discontinued in most of the stores that I'm around. I don't know how to cope with that, so now my friend has to buy them over in her town and bring them to me. Like, what? I've gone through several of these Neutragena Rapid Wrinkle Repair Serums, and if they look like they're little tiny and snubbed, it's because I cut them to get to the inside of them to get the rest of the serum that's inside of it, because there's like a whole gob of serum in there going to waste, and I'm really thrifty like that. So I've gone through several of these, and I bought another one recently and already went through it in the last month. So I also have gone through this Biore astringent, but I've moved on to, I believe, like a Neutragena one. I don't know. I'll show you guys what I'm using in my new skincare routine, but I don't use this astringent anymore. I haven't used this for at least 6 months. I've also gone through a macadamia healing oil, the small one, and I finally broke down and bought the larger size than this, so maybe it'll be a while before I have another Empties. But I love this stuff. Like, a bottle this size lasts me about 6 months, so I still think it's a pretty good deal. I don't know. I still use this on my ends, and I love it. Since the last time I've done an Empties, I've gone through at least 2 MAC Pro Longwear concealers in NW15, and I will probably continue to keep buying it because it's one of the best concealers I own. I really do wish MAC would make an NW10, NW5, NW0. I don't care. It'd be nice if they would go a little bit paler. It'd just be cool. It doesn't look like it, but I've also gone through this CoverGirl 3-in-1 foundation. It's in the shade 805. It's the palest one, and now I'm using this, like, I repurchased it, and I'm mixing it in with my white foundation from Manic Panic, so it is a pretty good one once I do that, like a good color match for me. So I just keep going back to this in the drugstore. I've also used up a couple of these little mini Benefit POREfessional primers as well. I don't know if you guys can see the font on this, but I've also gone through 2 boxes of PMD discs in the green one, moderate, for, you know, using microdermabrasion on my face. So I've at least gone through 2 or 3 boxes. I think I'm due to buy another one right now, actually. This is a tiny little acne treatment I received in an Ipsy bag, and it's the Clear Clinic Laboratories Vanish Spot Treatment. I used this up so quickly, and I don't think it did anything, but I thought I would just notate that I used it up and tossed it in here. I've also gone through a Pixi Flawless and Poreless mini primer that I got in an Ipsy bag, and I tried to go back and find it in stores, and I couldn't find it, and then I looked into buying it online, and it was actually pretty high priced for being like Target Cosmetics. It was probably over $20, and you had to buy a really big one. So I don't know, I was just like, I might as well get Benefit POREfessional for that price. But I'm kind of tempted to try this again because I remember really liking it. So I don't know, I used this up and I liked it. I've also used up a Revlon Color Stay in Ivory. I haven't used a Revlon Color Stay in Ivory for months now because it used to be one of my old favorites. But I decided that I wished the color would match me, and I actively looked for stuff that matched better. But this is a really good drugstore foundation for people who are, you know, pale and need some full coverage. I always end up going back to this at some point. So, I don't know. I've used up several of these in my makeup lifetime, but definitely use this one up to the very last drop, just about. And then lastly, I've used up a few Benefit products. I'm going to keep these little containers. These are their eye creams, and these take me probably about 3 months to go through each of them, and they're just a brightening eye cream. They're probably not the best eye cream in the world, but I don't really have really super dark you know, under eyes. I just maybe have a little bit of discoloration, and they really help keep the area moisturized, so I like these eye creams. I also like this moisturizer, but I only buy it in holiday kits because it's so expensive, and I'll mix it in with my other moisturizer when I want more, you know, moisture and luminosity to it. So I definitely like some of the Benefit skincare line. It feels luxurious, it smells so good, and it does help brighten your skin, but it's just kind of overpriced in my opinion sometimes, unless you can get it in like a holiday set. So yeah. Alright, so those are all my empties from about maybe the past year. You guys have no idea how many baby wipes I've gone through. If I told you, you would probably be like appalled, but that would probably be the thing I've used the most in the last year, and probably under eye concealers from Maybelline. So yeah. So hopefully this video showed you guys like what I'm really using and what I'm going back to, and what maybe kind of stuff you should probably try out, because there was quite a bit that I purchased over and over because it's tried and true for me, or probably just the best I can get for my situation. So yeah. Hopefully you guys like this video, and as always, thank you for watching it and supporting my channel. If you like this, please subscribe. Anyways, thank you, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.